The October 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Blended Township Board of Trustees is now called to order at 6:30 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, and roll call, please.
Heigl? Present. Shinneberry?
Present.
Siamaco?
Present.
Okay, Pat, do we have any public comment?
We do. Just for the audience purposes, I will read the public comment guidelines. Public comment will be for a period not to exceed 30 minutes per meeting. Residents or guests wishing to speak will be required to sign in on the sheet. Thank you, everyone. Each person will be given 3 minutes to express their compliment or concern. Each person will be called to the podium in the order for which they signed up. Yielding the time to another person is not permitted. Respectful communication is expected by all people involved in trustee meetings. If you're not able to comment during 30 minutes, I would ask that you just send me an email with your question at pmyers@blendentwp.org. And if something comes up later in the meeting, you can always email us tomorrow. The next day, you don't have to wait 2 weeks. We also have a new mic. Chief's fighting with the gooseneck there. The mic is unmuted at this point, so if you'll speak into the mic, it will help the folks in YouTube land as well as in the back here to hear. So right now, I have Mr. Paul Hanley is listed first.
We ready? Paul Hanley, Hanly, 6474 Purple Finch Court, Sunbury Woods. To all you YouTuber land people out there, in 2 weeks we have the patriotic duty of electing 2 of the 5 candidates for Blended Township Trustee. Now, the past few weeks there's been a lot of propaganda mailed to everybody about negative and aggressive information about the current board of trustees and in particular a couple of the candidates. Now, I think that's just, the negative stuff is just flat wrong. In fact, even the author mentioned the fact that it's believed the information to be accurate but is not warranted. Now, I don't support negative information, about any issue or any person. I think it's unbecoming of the township folks to begin with. But I also support the 2 candidates for Blended Township Trustee. I also support the police levy. And I ask all the folks out there in YouTube land to join me in supporting these 2 individuals plus the levy. And also I want to remind everybody out there, if you don't vote, don't complain. Thank you.
We have one more person that signed up to speak, Brian Houchins. Byron, I'm sorry.
Yes, Byron. 5461 Acapulco Place. I was wondering who is responsible for painting the lines in the township, because over at Sunbury and 161, you can't see a line when it rains at night. And I was just wondering, are we responsible for that, or is that ODOT?
I have your question. I'll get you an answer.
Okay, thank you.
That's all we have.
Okay. Trustee comments.
So I noticed a sign go up on Central College about a week ago, and so did all the neighbors apparently. So there is a project getting ready to begin on Central College and Lee/Ulrey roads. It's a sanitary sewer work. It's going to start on October 27th. Central College will be closed until late spring of 2026 from the east side of the intersection to just west of Shreven Drive. Residents that live on this section of Central College which includes Sandy Mark, Asherton Grove, and part of Lee Road, will still have access from Central College, but the direction from which they'll have to access it will change based on where the work is taking place during construction. Work should begin very near where the sanitary construction is currently taking place, and the information from the person, Russell Bowen, said that they'll pick up from the shaft they installed and continue construction heading west. In late winter or early spring, the intersection at Lee and Ulrey and Central College will be closed for about a month. With high bedrock in the area, it could possibly have a big impact on the length of the closure. We won't know for sure until we begin work in the area, and that's per Russell. They gave us what looks to be a diversion or a detour route for anybody on Central College from Ulrey through Harlem. And it almost looks like you're gonna have to go down Lee Road, divert to Walnut, come down Harlem, if you're gonna get all the way back around. But he wasn't sure. People on Sandy Mark who have children are worried that the buses won't be able to get there. And the gentleman from City of Columbus said he would provide more information as it becomes available. So as we get it, we'll post it and make sure everybody knows. And that's all I have.
Okay. Trustee Heickel, do you have anything?
I do. Administrator Myers and I are attending a JEDSI Executive Parkway Sunbury Road project meeting this next week. So I will have updates for you at the next Board of Trustees meeting.
I have a few announcements as well. Saturday, October 25th is National DEA Take Back Day. That will be happening from 10 to 2 at various sites all over the city. It will be in our township complex parking lot. That will be the closest one to you all. If you have any medications that you want to drop off on, Chief Belford may talk more about this, but it's Saturday, October 25th from 10 to 2, and it'll be here in the township complex parking lot. Also, I mentioned this last year, but it's time again for the Ohio Township Association Scholarship Program. These are college scholarships that are provided to the high school seniors that can apply for them. It's open now through January 31st. Details can be found at ohiotownships.org/scholarship-program. Also, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and just reminders to use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication and update your software. I know Veterans Day is still several weeks away, but I want to remind everyone that there is a Veterans Day service at 6:30 on Veterans Day, which is November 11th. Faith Covenant Church at 3607 Dempsey Road is graciously hosting the event. This is one of the initiatives in the America 250 Ohio grant that the township received, and all of the veterans in our Blendon Township Veteran Database will be receiving personalized invitations. The service was promoted in the recent township newsletter, but I just wanted to remind everyone that this is a great opportunity to come and honor our local veterans. And my last little announcement is that it is still Fire Prevention Month, and I just heard a tip on the news before I came over about fire pit safety, and I'm gonna let our battalion chief talk about that when it's his turn. Fiscal officer report, please.
Yes, have you had a chance to look over the regular meeting minutes from October 8th?
Yes, I will move to approve the trustee meeting minutes from October 8th.
I'll second.
Any discussion? No. Okay, call for the vote.
Heickel?
Yes.
Shinaberry?
Yes.
Yamaco?
Yes.
And then have you had a chance to review the purchase orders?
Yes, and I will move to approve the purchase orders as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
No.
Call for the vote.
Heickel?
Yes.
Shinaberry?
Yes.
Yamaco?
Yes.
And did you have a chance to look over the bills?
Yes, I will move to pay the bills as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
No.
Call for the vote.
Heickel?
Yes.
Shinaberry?
Yes.
Yamaco?
Yes.
And then that's all I have.
Okay, on to administration and human resources.
Thank
Pat.
you. Just a few things. First, as we get toward the end of the year here, as we do every year, getting ready to put the calendar together for 2026. And part of that is making sure all our event dates are set. We had a meeting with Chief of Police, Matt Newman, and me, and Taylor, and we all reviewed all those dates, sent them to you for approval, and it appears we all agree on those dates. So I would like for you to pass Resolution 2025-28, approving the dates as presented on this calendar.
I will move to approve Resolution 2025-28, approving the 2026 event dates.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Heickel? Yes. Shineberry?
Yes.
Siamaco?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I have a nuisance abatement resolution I'd like you to consider for me, and then after this, I'll have some updates for you on a few other things about these. Resolution NU 2025-15 will be declaring the property of 5915 Benghazi Road a nuisance. Please.
Can you ready for a motion? I'll move to approve Resolution NU 2025-15, declaring the property at 5915 Benghazi Road a nuisance.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Heickel? Yes. Shineberry?
Yes.
Siamaco?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to give a little bit of a code enforcement update and some of the things we're doing. I know that folks become frustrated about some of these things, and I think that it's important that we let everybody know where we're at in the process on some of these things that you folks are seeing out there in your neighborhoods. First of all, this year there's been 301 complaints that we've received, be high grass, be junk cars, be whatever it is. Those are various stages of being addressed. Of those, we've done 15 nuisance abatements, and 3 of those also are in or going through the court system. So we do the nuisance abatements, we clean it up, and there comes a point where we meet with our legal team and they decide it's time to consider going to the environmental court. We have one that's already gone through there, and the summary judgment came back, and that's been cleaned up. That was a property on Natalie Court. If you were to drive by that 3 months ago, you would have been appalled. If you drive by it now, you wouldn't know the difference. So that was taken care of. And just an update on a few things. I think many people remember a property on Dempsey Road that just was out of control grass-wise. And we were finally able to get in touch with the owners of that, get that taken care of through the process, and it's been cut every 2 to 3 weeks since then. Hasn't been a problem at all. There's a property on Rangoon that many people are familiar with. It's been, since I worked here for 2 years, it's been an issue. We worked with that property owner, really tried to work closely with the property owner. We brought in resources from the fire department to speak with him and so forth, and we've done 3 cleanups there. And now we are to the point where he's received a letter that as of November 11th, if the property is not cleaned up, we will clean it and go to court as well. We did have a family member come in and meet with us and sat down and talked with us and said that they are considering buying the property and doing some things. Since then, there has been a trailer on site in the front. There's some things that have been torn down. There's a lot of trash that was put on that trailer. So we're seeing some progress. November 11th is pretty close, but they're saying they will have it cleaned up and or sold. They do not want to go to court with it. So we're working with them on that. There was a property in Veradera that had trailer, boat, and operable vehicle. That's been put through the court process now. We're working on that one as well. And then lastly, we do have a cleanup actually scheduled from a prior nuisance abatement on Caracas at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. So just letting you know that these things take time, and the code guys are working hard to get them through the process. And what our hope is always that we don't have to go there, that we can get them taken care of by tagging them, speaking with them, knocking on the doors, calling them, and we're trying to do that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Next, I would ask for a resolution. We've been getting some requests, and I think it'd be nice to, Trustee Heickel and I talked about this, I think it'd be nice to memorialize this with the resolution, that we get calls from the schools asking us to kind of help them promote out about events and community events. And we do that, but I think it'd be nice to memorialize and say we are partnering with the schools that reside here in Blendon Township, and when they have community events, we will help them promote those events just through social media and those type of things. Not using financial resources, rather just making it known to the folks that live in the township. So I'd ask for a resolution to do that.
And this is not just Westerville City Schools, correct?
No, this will be any, so it's Westville City Schools, but also Horizon Academy, any educational school that sits within the township, please.
Okay, I will move to approve Resolution 2025-29 to partner with Westerville Schools and other schools that reside in Linden Township as it relates to the promotion of school-sponsored community events.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Pat, do you have the date of the event they were initially referring? I believe it's October.
The Horizon date. Why don't
Sorry
we-
to spring that on you.
That's okay.
I'll see if I can.
find it.
Well, we'll get it on the website.
It's
though.
already on the Facebook page. It's already on the website.
Okay.
So it's already been posted. I just don't remember the date.
Okay.
I'll look as,
Okay.
and
Sorry.
bring it up. No, it's okay, I sprung it on you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Let's call for the,
Heigl?
Yes. Shinneberry?
yes.
Siamaco?
Yes.
Thank you. Couple things well, there was one more thing on the agenda, the parks grant discussion. So I wanted to bring this up. We talked last meeting about mulching the path in Ridgewood Park, and Joanne asked about grants. So I went back and checked on some things. The only grant that would have applied for this type of project was due in February of last year, and I did not apply for that because this wasn't on our project list to do this spring. It's something we decided to look into. So now, there is no more funding for 25 for that, but what I'd like to do, with the quotes we have, I think it would make sense to approve those quotes for a spring install of new mulch in there. In the meantime, we're also working on a grant, Matt and I are working on a grant. It's a $50,000 minimum, up to $500,000, but it's $50,000 minimum with a 50% match. And we're looking at what could we do in all the parks as one big project through that grant and include the mulch as well. So we'll work on that. It's due on November 14th. We're putting that all together to be submitted. But in the meantime, I think it still might make sense to go ahead and the trustees, if it's the pleasure of the board, to look at approving that quote and maybe appropriating the money in the next meeting, or however you think that makes sense, Joanne.
Well, we had discussed that if installation really won't happen till spring, we can include that as part of the 2026 appropriations,
Okay.
which will be coming, forward like mid-November-ish.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll just make sure that that's included in there.
Okay. And I spoke with the vendor, and just so you know, if that's what we want to do, they will keep that quote exactly as it is for next year.
Since we had various vendors, can we go ahead and have a motion on which one
Accepting
to
bid?
accept and
Sure.
accepting that bid?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I would like to move to accept the Green Line Landscape bid. We're mulching the Ridgewood Park path at, the price was $17,999. And from what you had said, Pat, it sounded like they kind of went above and beyond and were willing to do some extra trimming and everything, and that was,
Yeah, so there was $70 difference in the cost from another provider. But he talked about not just mulching, and coming in and trimming back the trees down the walkway if they were overhanging in eye level, and doing some other cleanup stuff that wasn't part of that other bid, which would far exceed the $70 in savings with the other one. So very proactive as well.
well, I'd like to move to accept Green Line Landscapes quote for this work to be appropriated in the 2026 appropriations and then applied in the spring.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Please call for the vote.
Heigl?
Yes. Shinneberry?
Yes.
Siamaco?
Yes.
Thank you. I only have one more thing. It's not on the agenda. I reminded, Matt and I were just talking about reminding this. So trick or treat is Thursday, October 30th, from 6 to 8. The police department's always out in the neighborhoods, running around doing their thing, right, saying hi to folks. We're going to do something a little different this year. They're going to keep doing that. We're also going to put a tent at the corner of Buenos Aires and Paris, and a tent at the opening of the Sunbury Woods Common area park there. And those will be manned by myself, Matt, Eric Moore, and a couple others. And we're going to be handing out candy in those tents as well. So we'll be out there talking to the kids and making sure everybody's safe and having fun. The police will be out there with us. So just make a nice night of it. So I think it'd be nice for the kids to go to the houses, but also see something a little different. We probably will not dress up in the costumes, but we'll be out there with the kids. I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. On to maintenance, building grounds, parks, and cemetery. Mr. Newman.
I have no business to report to you tonight.
Okay. Thank you, by the way, for your comment when I asked you about the wisdom of doing mulch now or in the spring, and you said it would make much more sense to do it in the
I
spring.
believe so, yeah. People will be able to enjoy it for longer, and we don't get out in the winter months to walk those trails.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for answering that question. On to the police department, Chief Belford.
As trustee Shinneberry pointed out, we will be with a tent with our officers out here in the parking lot Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for prescription drug turn-in. This is a national DEA program. It's for expired and unused medication. No needles. We will not accept needles. But other than that, prescription drugs that are unused or expired can be turned in. We did have a lot of car break-ins early this morning in Huber Ridge. We've identified about 12 break-ins, but only 7 of those car owners filed police reports. We just took number 7 a few minutes ago as the meeting was starting. The thing about filing reports, first and foremost, we don't want people to leave valuables in their car. That's the key, is don't leave valuables in your car. But if your car is broken into, or you find that it's been ransacked, or some people on social media were posting, well, they only took a little bit of change, so I didn't call the police. We still want those reports. You can do an online report if you don't want an officer to come out and take a report. But that tells us where they're happening, so we can contact those residents and try to get Ring doorbell cameras, security cameras, and that. We do have some residents posting pictures of possible suspects on social media. But those are not the residents that filed police reports. Therefore, the news media would not put those pictures on a story that they did today about it. So that's another thing, is that we can't get those photographs of suspects and suspect vehicles out to where somebody might recognize them, simply because the media will not air it if the person didn't file a police report and does not give them permission to air it. So those are kind of 2 things: no valuables in the car, and please file a police report. That's all I had to say.
I have a question about DEA. In addition to prescription medications, will they take over-the-counter medications or not?
Yes.
Okay.
The program is for getting these prescription drugs, expired drugs of any kind can be turned in, like over the counter, to get them turned in so that they don't end up in landfills, they don't end up in creeks, people flush them down the toilet and it gets into the water table. So yes, they will take over-the-counter medicines that are expired. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks for clarifying. The OTCs were okay to add to that. Okay, on to the fire department, battalion chief.
Hello. One thing Ms. Shinneberry asked me to speak on was burn pits. And one thing, the State Fire Marshal's office has a burn ban from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. For the state, and that goes through October and November. But grilling out is okay during that time if you're using a regular grill. But if you're using a burn pit, a couple safety items is you want to make sure it's far enough away from your house, but also having a garden hose available if it were to get out of the burn pit. And just making sure after you're done with your burn pit that all of your ashes are out. And the best way to do that is to, fill it with water and actually move it around to the point where you can put your hands in it and swish it around with your hands. That lets you know it's totally out. So that's a good thing. And if you are gonna put it into the trash somewhere, it's best to put it in a metal container, not just like a yard waste bag or something like that. The other thing I wanted to mention is, with smoke detectors, spring forward and fall backward, that's a good time to check your smoke detectors and actually replace your batteries, unless you have a smoke detector that's a 10-year battery, which a lot of them nowadays are selling have 10-year battery life on them. But if you have 9-volt batteries in your smoke detectors, when you set your clocks back, it's a good time to change all the batteries in your smoke detectors. And the final thing I wanted to mention, I just want to kind of give a shout out to Officer Moynihan or Sergeant Moynihan and Officer Mueller. They've helped us out a lot here lately on calls, and it's always nice to work with those guys. All the Linden Township Police are great to work with, but I know specifically we had a fire in Huber Ridge a couple weeks ago, and Officer Mueller was there, and we totally appreciate when the police don't park in front of the building, because we need our ladder truck in there, and he parked way off out of the way, and that shows me an experienced officer versus a brand new officer. Sometimes we have trouble in Westerville with, you know, the police officers parking right in front of the house and we can't get our trucks in there. So as they get experience with that, they learn, and he did a real nice job on that. We also had a pretty bad crash on 161 in Buenos Aires Boulevard. He was very helpful to us out there. So I just wanted to thank him for that. That's all I have.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Chief. With the detour on Central College, I mean, it's gonna be shut. Do they communicate with you at all? Because there's, okay.
Yes.
Have they communicated with you?
I'm not sure on that one. I haven't heard about it yet, but when they shut down roads like that, we have a plan, and we work with surrounding departments to make sure we get it covered. So, yes.
The fire department and the police department have computer-aided dispatching, which shows us routes to go and gives alerts on closed roads and that sort of thing. So a lot of times, it's kind of over and above your basic car navigation system, because it's loaded by the, they call it the PSAPs, the 911 centers load that information in.
Yes. The detour that they gave us is what they're gonna use. That's gonna add about 10 minutes onto everybody's drive time.
Yeah, it's, and we'll work with like Plain Township, Harlem Township to make sure that,
Okay,
you know,
good.
we get the closest piece of equipment there.
Thank you.
I'd like to add on to his smoke detector announcement, just a reminder, if you remember, I believe it was the last meeting, Chief Miller talked about the grant program that the fire department has, where they will come out to your house and install smoke detectors free. So please remember about that. All you have to do is contact them. Okay, does anybody have any further announcements for the good of the meeting? Okay, well, we are ready to make the final announcements at the November 5th meeting. There will be a records retention meeting at 6:15, and then the regular trustee meeting will follow that at 6:30. Those are both on November 5th, which is our next meeting. So I will move to adjourn this meeting at 6:58.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Eichel?
Yes?
Shinnevary?
Yes.
Siamako?
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned.